Hi, Megan. How are you doing today?
Hi, Jenna. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How was your Halloween weekend?
It was really good. I just kind of spent it at home, chill with my family. We were watching Halloween and scary movies. A couple of my cousins came over to trick or treat in my neighborhood, so it was really cute seeing all of them dressed up.
Yeah, I was actually pretty curious as to how trick or treat would look this year. Did you find that a lot of kids and their parents or whoever was escorting them were wearing a lot of masks?
There wasn't as many of those medical face masks as you typically see. There was a lot of, again, Halloween masks. But no, it was mostly a lot of social distancing and just kind of picking up candy off tables since it is spread out. A lot of people weren't having bowls, they were just dumping them on tables so kids could pick and go. So it was
Mm,
more of just social distancing and less masks.
right. I figured it would kind of look something like that. I mean, I know my niece went out and did some trick or treat, and there were a lot of fun devices that people had made in order to hand kids the candy. But I was really glad that we were able to still make that happen for the kids because I know that's such a special time of year. But I did want to thank you, of course, for taking the time to meet with me today. And I just want to discuss some of the things that you and I had been exchanging some emails about. So would that be okay if I asked you a couple questions today?
Of course.
Okay, great. So Megan, can I ask you to describe what your background is?
Yeah, so I am currently a senior marketing and management major at NKU, and I will be going for my master's, my MBA next year. But I am currently working with and this they're called the Underground Agency. It's kind of like a marketing club at NKU, and I would almost say it's even an internship. I'm currently working with multiple companies such as DMG and GEMS on a lot of marketing projects. So I'm currently doing that. And I also run track and field for NKU.
That's awesome. Congratulations on the pursuit of your MBA. I know that that's like a really great opportunity for you, and that will definitely give you some great opportunities in the future as well.
Thank you.
So, how would you describe what it is that you do for the Underground Agency?
So I would describe it almost as a shadow program. So what we do is the companies come to the agency, Dr. Raska, and Dr. Raska presents a project that he think we would be able to do or really good at doing and fulfilling for this company. So, for instance, DMG came to us and they are looking to create a loyalty program for their technicians. So, they have created a timeline and certain deadlines for us to hit regarding the process of that. And eventually, we'll be reaching out to companies and hoping to partner with big companies like AAA and Verizon and things like that, or even Lowe's to help technicians out and give them something to look forward to when logging on with DMG.
That's really awesome. So when you started studying marketing, did you see yourself kind of working in this sector that you're doing with the Underground Agency, or did you maybe see yourself in a different role?
Yeah, I chose marketing as a kind of like a backup plan, not really, if that makes sense. So I just started out as management and then I decided to do a dual degree and chose marketing. And I didn't really have a background in what marketing was. Actually, kind of just thought it was the process of advertising, making posters, making commercials, things like that. But it's a lot more than what I was expecting it to be. So the fact that I actually get to analyze data, look at the big data that companies produce, analyze the market share, who their employees are, what they want to do, everything else involved with the company, it was a lot more than I was expecting, but I am really enjoying it and was pleasantly surprised about it.
Yeah, that's definitely fantastic. So I know you mentioned working with companies like DMG and GEMS. How large is the customer base? Or I guess how many clients at the moment does the Underground Agency have?
So that is actually a loaded question. They are a nationwide company. So we have technicians, they're based in Newport, Kentucky, and DMG has an app where technicians can, it's almost like Uber for technicians. So they can pull up a spot and say Walmart in Massachusetts needs a lawn job. And a technician, it'll pop up if that technician's in the area, it'll pop up on their phone and they can claim that job.
Oh
So
wow, okay.
it varies according to year, according to so they range from
Mm.
snow jobs for lawn jobs to indoor plumbing to roofing, anything a company really needs. So it just ranges, but they do have over 2,000 jobs a year for sure.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, when you joined Dr. Raska's class, did you anticipate on becoming a member of the underground agency?
I did not actually. I just knew that my consumer insights class with Dr. Roscoe was supposed to be in person. So I wanted to connect with him and act like I was even in that class. So I asked him for coffee.
Mm.
And then I said, what is the next step after this class? So I kind of took the initiative to kind of get on that train, even though I didn't know what train I was actually getting on. And he told me about the agency. He told me about his apprenticeship class, the 480 class, and then even the class he's hosting next semester that I'm going to join for the study abroad but not going abroad class. So
Yeah.
he actually just the following week was like, "Hey, do you want to become a member of the agency?" And I was like, "Why not?"
Yeah, that's really awesome. Sounds like a really great opportunity for sure. So how many clients or companies is the underground agency currently working with?
Oh, so that's actually a hard question because they have had previous companies working with. So like last semester they had a couple different companies that they were working with, and the projects that were completed, but yet the company is still around in case there is another project happening, or even
Okay.
it's just a minor project continuing. So
Right.
for instance, for example, we have a mentoring plus program, and that was started last semester with a couple of our agency shadow apprentices, and it's
Hmm.
still continuing. They're actually working on their social media page. So that's happened all summer into now. But at the moment,
Wow.
active that we have, I would say is 4 companies.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's really awesome. So how many hours a week would you say you spend working with the underground agency?
That is that just depends on the project that at that time.
Yeah.
So when I was working with GEMS and DMG, I was definitely doing 8 to 10 hours of work a week, I would say. But now that we're getting into GEMS or DMG, I'm sorry about that. We are getting into a more hefty research side. So I would say
Mm.
I'm definitely spending probably still 6 to 8 hours a week researching, putting together presentations, meeting with my team, meeting with them. So I would say a good 6 to 8 hours just focused on DMG work.
R Wow, wow. So that definitely sounds like a lot of, work in addition to all the other things that I know, you've been telling me about in those emails and stuff. Would you say that most of the work that you do for the agency is, collaborative with the other students that work with you?
100%. It is 100% a team effort. If I was a single person, I'd be working 24/7 for that.
Yeah, yeah. So, you collaborate a lot with students, obviously. How often are you actually meeting with the clients or the companies that you guys are currently working with?
So at least every week we meet with them. The last time we met was a couple weeks ago in person, so that was really nice to be able to see them physically. But we meet at least once a week with them to deliver our project and show them what we've come up with. But if we have any questions, we meet with them 2 to 3 times a week. It just really depends
Wow.
on the situation that's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I know sometimes with marketing things can be, extremely fluid. It's just kind of, whether or not the ideas you guys are creating can happen or what you have to do to make those happen. Like you said, some weeks you're maybe working 8 to 10, maybe other weeks you're just working 6 to 8. So I know that there can be a lot of inconsistency in the schedule and, with the work and stuff like that. So can I ask, what are some difficulties that you think you experience maybe working with the underground agency or in the work that you do with the agency?
I would say some difficulties would just be being able to communicate quickly with everyone since it is online and computer based. It is kind of hard to get an answer relatively quickly from either my group or DMG. Um, and also just being able to research the correct information. There's not a lot that we were provided with. We were provided with a lot, but some of the things that I needed to come up with or research, I did not have available or was
Mm.
able to quickly access. So some days I might be researching the same topic for hours on end and just take a break and try and figure it out the next day. But it's kind of just figuring out what I need to find and going about how to finding it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how difficult do you feel it would be to gain funding in order to purchase maybe some equipment or items that would make you or the other agent's job easier?
Could you restate that question? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. How difficult do you think it would be to maybe gain funding or fundraise maybe to get equipment that would make your job or the other agent's jobs easier?
That that is a great question. So there is not that many of us. There's probably about 15 at max. So I feel like, and also I feel like a lot of people don't know about the underground agency. So fundraising for something that many people don't know about, I think would be really hard because people want to know exactly where their money is going.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, if it's, I'm not going to say it's sketchy, but like if it's not well known, then people are very unsure of what to do with their money. So I would say it would be kind of difficult to do fundraising for the underground agency just because it is a new program. It's not very well known, and it is very selective also who they choose to bring in. So I feel like it would be somewhat difficult depending on how we fundraise to gain money for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, would you ever desire to work for a firm that's larger than the underground agency, or perhaps a firm that is for profit rather than a nonprofit marketing firm?
I would say yes. My dream is actually to work for a nonprofit just because I love the aspect and how that works. But I would consider working for an agency that is for profit. I think experience is the most important thing because if you don't like a job, you just go to the next one and you've learned that you don't like that job. So I think I'm willing to try an arrangement of jobs and a wide variety of what to do. Just because I think I also haven't found my niche yet. So I'm willing to
Right.
try anything honestly. But yes, I do want to go up from the underground agency.
Right, absolutely. Because it sounds like the underground agency is pretty small, so maybe there could be obviously some value in working for, a larger agency and getting the experience of, maybe working with more than 4 companies at once. I'm sure there'd be a lot of projects maybe or maybe you'd be assigned to just one, so that could obviously be a very different, experience. But, do you feel that your job with the underground agency is making a difference in your life or maybe the lives of others?
Oh, 100%. I I did not know about marketing, like I said before I got to the agency. I knew somewhat of what it was, but I didn't know the full extent. And the agency has taught me not only what marketing is, but how to analyze data, how to communicate with your team, how to communicate with people who are way ahead of you professionally as well, and how to deliver and create presentations that are going to appeal to those people as well. So it hits the creative side, it hits the analysis side, it hits the business, it hits every aspect. So this has definitely changed my views of business and how I am going to interact in the future with other companies. And I think it's affecting also the company I'm currently working with on how to hire people who are my age and teach people my age to actually have them understand what it's like to work in the real world.
Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of value in hiring, inexperienced or younger employees, maybe people fresh out of college who have, maybe not as much experience, but a fresh perspective. So I think that it's really great that companies are choosing your agency to work with, because you guys have so many fresh ideas and you guys are eager, you're not for profit. So you guys are obviously really eager to, share your opinion and get your voice out there. And I think that that's really amazing. If there was a piece of equipment that you could obtain to make your job easier, what do you think that would be?
I would say honestly an up-to-date computer. I've had my computer for 4 years now. It's still a great quality computer, but it is on the side where I would like something that's more technologically advanced and up to date with the apps and the camera. Since everything is online and web now, I would like a better camera and just features that are faster in general as well, just to make my job a little bit more easier.
Right, as if the world wasn't already moving towards more of a, technological advancements. It seems like are happening every day, but it seems that we're moving more virtual more and more every day, especially considering the fact that we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So I can understand how that would be, completely necessary for you to, get your job done efficiently. If you were able to fundraise or get money for, you know, a laptop, how would that make you feel?
I would honestly be extremely grateful. I mean, I have a lot on my plate. I have track, I have school, I have this internship, and I also have other internships and jobs I'm trying to do. So taking one less purchase off my plate and possibly getting fundraising for that would be extremely incredible. Especially I bought a new car this year, so that's just also another bill on my plate.
Yeah,
So so there's
yeah,
a lot of things
absolutely.
going on that just fundraising for one more item would be incredible.
Right. So if you and the other agents were to be able to get new laptops, and it didn't benefit you in the way that you might have thought, would you feel that you wasted money?
I don't think I would. I feel that I wasted money. I would feel bad for people who did donate and it wasn't what I was expecting, but I don't feel like it would be a waste of time or anything. Because fundraising honestly is a learning experience as well. Like the process of coming up with the fundraiser, marketing for the fundraiser, and just all of the ideas for it is an extremely brutal process. So not only would it be an incredible experience to get money for the fundraising, but also just go through the process of creating the fundraiser itself. So I think it would be a
Yeah.
win either way. And if it doesn't suit us for the laptop work or what we need, we could always donate it to another student or other kids in need.
Wow. Yeah, and you know what? That's an excellent idea. How do you think it would make you feel if you knew of ways that would help you and the other agents increase your productivity, like within the agency, and Dr. Raska didn't want to listen to your ideas?
If Dr. Raska didn't want to listen to our ideas to make ourselves better or potentially perform better, it would make me feel hurt because we do work on a very close basis and very personal basis. So if my mentor didn't want to listen to my ideas or my fellow apprentices, they didn't want to listen to my ideas or he didn't want to listen to theirs, I would think it would be kind of hurtful, especially since again we do work closely with him and he says he values us. So if he didn't show that he actually values us, then I'd kind of be questioning what our relationship actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you could make this purchase or make the changes that you desire within the underground agency, what would work look like for you?
I think work would look so much easier and just honestly more professional and more business like. I would be able to get all of my presentations done and well looking, like well written, well approached and brought up. And I think the fact that we would be able to see each other clearly on camera and just be able to feel like our work is paying off, I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like your productivity, would definitely increase.
Mhm.
Do you think that it would also better your relationship with the other agents that you're working with, like the
Oh,
other students?
100%. So we actually use a couple different apps and platforms on our computer. So we use Slack, we use Microsoft Teams to communicate with each other and with each company. So if one day my computer decides that they don't want to load Slack or it doesn't want to load something else or I don't have enough space to upload a file, then I mean I'm kind of out of luck at that point. So I think our relationship would definitely be better if everyone could have computer with enough space with enough speed and everything to download what we need to download and figure that out properly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like it's safe to say that you would feel that you made a large impact on the agency, if you were able to get them all something, help increase the product of their jobs.
No, 100%. I would say that for sure.
Right. So I would say, based on some of the responses that you've kind of been giving me in the conversation that we've had, that it's fair to say that you would absolutely be interested in, laptops that would maybe increase your productivity and, help with your job at the underground agency.
Yeah, 100%. Laptops would be incredible and it would increase our productivity a lot, I would say, in just how we would be able to communicate with everyone.
Absolutely. Is it accurate to say that your first priority when working is efficiency and customer satisfaction?
100%.
Awesome. And then if I could convince you that our product would save you time, but also increase productivity for the agency, like, would that interest you?
Of course, of course. If there's something that comes up and I could take it back to Dr. Raska or my fellow apprentices, I would love to hear more about that.
Okay, great. Well, Megan, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me, so that way I could kind of, further, assess your needs and of you and the other agents that you're working with. And, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And thanks again for meeting with me.
Of course. Thanks so much for emailing and setting this up. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a
I'll
great
talk
week.
to you soon.
Bye.
Hmm. Bye.